Good morning to all. Welcome you all in ISFCP dialogue series under the Aegis of IQAC-ISFCP, organized by ISF College of Pharmacy, Moga, Punjab. Today's special guest and speaker, Professor Dr. Prabha Rajput, Department of Pharmacology, and the title of her talk is Role of Mitochondria in Circadian Rhythm. We welcome you, ma'am. Please proceed.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for a nice introduction. Today my topic of talk is role of mitochondria in circadian rhythm. So, I will focus more on the circadian rhythm because for the mitochondria and mitochondrial function, I have already discussed in very detail in my previous talk. So, if you want to see how the mitochondria is working and how we can measure the mitochondria, you have to see my previous lecture. Here, my topic, today's content of talk is like what are the circadian rhythm. I will discuss with you all like how your circadian rhythm is work and what are the difference between the circadian rhythm and biological rhythm. What are the biological clock? What are the different types of circadian rhythm? How artificial light at the night can disrupt your circadian rhythm, and how your mitochondria is involved in the circadian rhythm, and how can the circadian rhythm regulate your mitochondrial functions. So first of all, we all need to know what are the circadian rhythm. So circadian rhythm is basically a cycle that is regulate your body functions and continuously repeat within the 24 hours. So we'll see like what are the difference between the between the circadian rhythm and biological rhythm. Circadian rhythm is a cycle which is regulated by the clock, which is influenced by the external cues like the light. So the best and good example of circadian rhythm is the sleep wake cycle, which is influenced with the effect of light. But when we talk about the biological clock may or may not be influenced by the external cues. For example, if your body is secreting the hormones, if your body is increasing the temperature or regulating the blood pressure, that may not be affected by the external cues like light and all. So here the best example I'm saying like sleep wake cycle is circadian rhythm because it is influenced by the light. Whenever light is falls on you, you have to wake up and your body is active to work. And whenever it's going to like when sun is going to set up, your body is automatically feel it's a resting phase and you will feel like less of energy. So these are the two best example of circadian rhythm and biological rhythm. And one more most important things you have to know, like who regulate and what are the part of your body that regulates your biological rhythm. So the to regulating the circadian rhythm, the best example in your body is your master clock that is present in the hypothalamus, and within the hypothalamus it is presented in the suprachiasmatic nuclei that we call the SCN. So SCN regulate all of your daily activities, like when you have to sleep, when you have to wake up, when you have to eat, whatever your daily routine functions, that is regulated by the SCN. And SCN mostly affected by the external cues like light, and it is very sensitive to light. And another one is biological clock, like your secretion of hormone, corticosterone, melatonin. All these secretions is not influenced by the light, but indirectly regulated with the your master clock. So each of your body cells have one clock that is maintain your body functions, and that clock is called peripheral clock, which is presented in the cell. And all the peripheral clocks will regulated with by the master clock, that is the circadian, that is the suprachiasmatic nucleus. So here in this slides you can see how your body is regulating your functions in a circadian manner. Here you see this is the 24-hour cycle, in which you can see here this one is the dark phase and this one is the light phase. In the light phase, starting from the morning 6, you can see how your body is start suppressing the blood pressures. Then melatonin secretes, which is high at the night, it will stop because it's a morning. So melatonin is a sleep hormone, so it's not needed here. Your bowel movement will likely starts at the same time every day. See here, time is given. Highest testosterone or the corticosterone, we can say. So these are the stress hormone which protect your body from the stress. So it is start secreting at the sharp 9 a.m. because your body is going to like face all the day stress. Your alertness, like at 10 a.m morning, your body is at high alert. In the noon, you can say afternoon, between 12 to 2:30, your body is in best coordination. Your fastest reaction time, that is a metabolic time, like your best metabolic time is afternoon 2:30 to 3:30. Then here you can see how your body is going to in like towards the rest, because it's coming to evening, and after that it will be night. So here you can see in the evening 6:30 your blood pressure will be high, your body temperature will be high. Then at the 9 p.m your body will start secreting melatonin, and this melatonin is a sleep hormone. Around 10:30 your bowel movement will suppress, and at the night, like after 12 or 12 to 2, your body will be in deep sleep. So this cycle will regulate your daily body functions, and that will be repeat in a regular manner every day. So that's why we called it the circadian cycle. Now, coming to the type of circadian cycle, it's not compulsory that all the circadian cycle will be like 24 hours, as we all know. That means, like if we see likely we all know the circadian rhythm is 24 hours, but it is not importantly or compulsory that circadian cycle only will be of 24 hours. Here the different type of cycles, but these are also a circadian cycles. Like here we can see first the diurnal cycle, which start in the day or maybe in the night, and it will complete in the day only, or if it's a night it will complete in the night only, and that will be also a circadian rhythm. Another one is a circadian, which we are regularly talking. Another one is a ultradian rhythm that will complete in the less than 24 hours. Another one is a infradian rhythm that will complete in 1 month, or another one is a circannual cycle that will complete in a year. So this circannual cycle is not present in the human or in the animal. It will like it is presented in the plants. If you see, like some seasonal plants, all the seasonal plants will come in the same season after 1 year, and that will repeat every year for the plants. So this will present in the plants. Infradian rhythm is a good example of the menstruation cycle. It will repeat in every month. Ultradian rhythm, like it will complete within less than 24 hours. If you see some flowers, you see like some flowers will start blooming in the morning, and it will close after the afternoon. So this will be the example of some kind of circadian rhythm, but these are also a circadian rhythm. In the 2017, these three scientists got the Nobel Prize in the physiology and the circadian rhythm. They told, like they discovered in the Drosophila melanogaster, this is the fly. They discovered how the circadian rhythm is regulated by the molecular mechanism. So the molecular mechanism that regulate all these functions I have told before, they said the circadian gene present in the every cell or every body like measure in the cell functions, that is the BML or the BML and clock. These forms dimer. And another one is the good in another one important proteins or genes for regulating the circadian is period, like per one, or the cryptochrome gene, crypt gene. In short, we called it per and cry. So these three scientists give the mechanism, and they told like BML and clock forms the dimer, and they start forming the dimer when your body is going to like is going to come in the active phase. So when the morning time is there, clock BML forms dimer, and these two dimers activate all the body mechanism which is responsible for keeping your body active. And at the end of the day, crypt and period forms the dimer. BML and clock dissolve in the evening, and the function is dissolved, and body will going to going to rest. And that time your crypt and period one forms the dimer, and they will suppress all the mechanism before which was active before, and then your body will go into the rest. So if we talk about like how your circadian rhythm is disrupted, here in this picture you can clearly see in this picture, when it is a healthy circadian rhythm means when it is a dark night, so your body is not getting any light signal. So your pineal gland will start secretion the melatonin, and your body will go in rest, and you will feel sleepy, and you go to the sleep. But here in the second picture you see it's a circadian rhythm disturbance or disorders. When light is falling, it is a artificial light, because in the night there is no natural light. But nowadays we all are living in the artificial light. At the night also we feel we feel so many lights is coming from our window, street light and all those things. So here you see light is coming in the night, so your body is not feeling your clock is not feeling it's a time to suppress your melatonin, to start your melatonin. So it will not start any melatonin, and your body will not feel sleepy, and you will be awake, and slowly it will disrupt your circadian rhythm, and you will feel so many illness, and you will go under the uh, so many disorders. Here one example where we have measured some activities in the rodents, in the mice. You can see when it was a light and dark cycle, the activity pattern of mice you can clearly see. This is the 24-hour cycle, this is the day and this is the night, again this is the day and this is the night. So in this picture you can see when it was the day, mice are the nocturnal animals, so they are resting in the daytime and they are active in the night time. Again it is repeated because it's a 24-hour cycle. But here in this is the case of continuous light. Here continuous light was exposing to the mice, and here you can see in the starting body was trying to maintain the circadian rhythm. And in the starting day, starting 1 week, there is less activity at the daytime and more activity in the night time. But after 1 week you see here there is no difference between the night and between the day. So mice are completely disturbed their circadian rhythm, and they are not able to recognize when it is the night and when it is the a day. So this is just an example, like how our activity pattern disrupt when we are in the disrupting circadian rhythm. In this one, we see how your how the mitochondrial function is involving in the circadian rhythm. So we can see here when it was the active phase, so the nutrient is sufficient. We are eating food. We are we can eat whatever we found around us. So this was the case of daytime and the active phase. Here the nutrient is sufficient and our body is in active phase. So we can see when the body is in active phase, nutrient will be utilizing to produce the energy or produce the ATP, and that time the reactive oxygen species will form because ATP is producing. And simultaneously your this hypoxia infusing factor alpha is decreased because of the higher level of the oxygen. And what this is doing, this is the molecular mechanism. This is a little bit scientific to understand, so I will explain it. When a reactive oxygen species in high amount, the molecular pathway of sirtuin will reduce. That will also influenced by the less NAD, because here no NAD is coming. So when your sirtuin pathways in downstream, simultaneously your AMPK pathways also will be in the downstream. And what will happen, your circadian gene, that is BML or clock, will be upregulated, because it was uh, trying to defend this reactive oxygen species. So what it is doing, it is going to the upstream and activating the NRF2 and NAMPT. That is what that is like responsible to increase the NAD plus. And what this NAD plus is doing, it will leads to again increases your certain pathway that is responsible for all of your mitochondrial activity. Here we can see this is the case of the fasting or resting, when we are not eating anything or when we are resting. So that time nutrients are not available, your oxygen level is less, your reactive oxygen species will also less. That time your hypoxia diffusion factor will increase, and it will uh, all these mechanisms will leads to finally increase your certain pathway, and your certain pathway is responsible for increasing the AMPK together, and all the down regulation of clock genes, like these two specific clock genes which is responsible for resting factors, clock and DML, and increase the period and chrysine, and all these are increasing the AMPK to produce more energy or to regulate the mitochondrial function. So we can see when the active phase was there, there was a fragmentation of mitochondria was happens. So when fragmentation of mitochondria happens, like mitochondria divide and they will not be able to produce sufficient energy. When resting phase is there, the these are the cycles when all these molecular mechanisms will upregulated, and they enlarge the mitochondria, means they again cause the fusion of mitochondria, and elongated mitochondria will leads to produce more ATP. So these are the like regulating mechanism. And what is the conclusion of this picture is this picture is showing how your circadian clock is regulating your mitochondrial function. Same here in this slide we can see all the mitochondrial functions is regulating by the clock and female gene, like your biogenesis, like formation of mitochondria, your fission, fragmentation of mitochondria, and the mitophagy. When mitochondria is not useful or damaged mitochondria, it need to be go under the mitophagy, so that like no further damaged mitochondria will produce. So this is important to maintain the healthy mitochondria for the regulating of proper energy and proper functioning of your body. So this is how your mitochondria involve in the circadian rhythm. So what is the take home message from here? Like we have to keep our circadian rhythm in optimization form. So what we can do, we can avoid electronic and blue light when we are going to bed. We should not use like we should use the routine or consistent bedtime. Every time we should sleep at the same time, and every time we should wake up at the same time. When we wake up in the morning, we should get some natural light or sunlight about 30 minutes, so our all the body functions will work properly. And also like we should eat the food at the same time, like we should eat breakfast at the same time, we should eat lunch and dinner at the same time every day, to keep our mitochondria functioning and our circadian rhythm proper, and we will be healthy. So these are all for the today's talk. These are some references of this talk. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for hearing me.
Thank you, Dr. Prabha,
Thank you,
for
sir.
this wonderful talk. We are very thankful to our excellent lecture on mitochondria and related to circadian rhythm and its significance in pharmaceutical sciences. And
Thank you, sir. If you
listeners,
have
if you have
any
any
question,
query, please inbox your query in the YouTube chat box and visit our website www.isfcp.org. We again thanks to all and thanks to Dr. Prabha. Thank you so
thank you,
much.
sir. Thank you, sir.